Sometimes in life, we find ourselves standing at a crossroads, unable to take a step in any direction. We fear we won't take the right path. But I feel called to tell you that wherever you are right now and whatever you decide, it can't be a wrong choice. I was just talking with a dear friend yesterday, and she told me, I feel like I need to make a decision to choose a path, but my feet are numb and I can't walk forward. And to be honest, this is something that I experienced in my own life too. I mean, quite literally, right now. So I asked her, what scared her the most about making the wrong choice? She said she feared her life would go backward instead of forward, that she would return to past situations and eventually end up feeling worse than she does now. And that is the definition of a wrong choice for the majority of us, isn't it? We fear we will regret it badly. I sat with this for a while and I thought about the conditioning from society that makes us believe life is linear, that there are specific marks you have to hit on a specific timeline. You're supposed to go from point A to point B to point C. And then you grow up and you go out there to live your life. You get to point C. And then an H comes in unexpectedly and slaps you in the face. And then you go back to D and then jump over to K and you feel like it's a mess. You feel like you're doing something completely wrong. Trusting this process can feel scary and confusing, and that's okay. We need to come to terms with the fact that our lives aren't all supposed to feel and look the same. None of us is doing anything wrong. It's supposed to be different for each one of us. And more than that, we cannot know and we cannot imagine how our life's path is truly meant to unfold. Let's go back to that crossroad. Let's say you already know what you want. You're at a point where a cycle has ended and you're desperate for a new chapter to begin, a completely new one. You know you need to go from point A to point Z, but right now you can't even see point B, let alone all the other steps in between. You only know you want the Z, the outcome, the career, the financial goal, the soulmate, the family, maybe all of the above. That's your Z. And here you are at point A or B, still at the beginning, and you don't know where the next step is. You can't even imagine how many steps there are. We've been conditioned to believe the next step must be point C, so we get fixated on that. But life might have a different plan. Life might know a shortcut and try to give you an L. But you don't know how to trust it because it doesn't feel logical. It feels wrong to jump from C to L. And the thing is, L might look a lot like a past version of your reality. You think, I don't want to go back. This looks like exactly where I used to be. I really hope you're following this weird alphabet game. Let me give you a real-life example. Let's say you want to start your own business. You've been an employee for years, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you have this dream of being your own boss. You've spent years doubting your ability to lead, accidentally building a mental prison for yourself. No judgment here. I've lived in that prison for a long time. But then you go through a huge internal shift. You face your shadows. You do the work and you feel so proud. You feel ready. You can literally taste the freedom of having your own business. So you leave your job and take that leap of faith. You promise yourself you'll never look back. That old reality is over. You are done building other people's visions. Now you're building your own. But then life happens. Something unpredictable throws you off track, an unexpected age. Maybe you run low on capital, or your partner has a change of heart, or that perfect rental spot gets taken. Suddenly you're in the in-between space. You know what you want, but it isn't here yet. And in the meantime, you still have to live your life. While you're waiting for the pieces to come together, a different puzzle piece reveals itself, one that doesn't seem to fit. Someone offers you a different job, in another city maybe. It's an interesting position, something you'd be great at, but you're terrified of going backwards. You tell yourself, if I take this, I'm betraying my dream. I'm just proving that I'll always be an employee. And I get it. That is a completely valid fear. But remember, we aren't supposed to know how the journey unfolds. Is it possible that if you feel a call toward that job, even if you can't explain it logically, it's actually a stepping stone? A shortcut? What if you're meant to meet a person there who changes everything? Someone with a capital to invest in you, or a better location for your business? What if what feels like a return to the past is actually a vital lesson you must master before your next big move? I suspect that the universe, God, source, or whatever you call it, wants to help you build a specific trait or skill that will eventually skyrocket your success. And this job, this backward step, it's actually the shortcut. We're so quick to call something a mistake just because it doesn't look like the image in our minds. It doesn't look like our point Z. We think, this isn't what I asked for, so how could it be right? But the thing you're calling a mistake might be the very thing you need to do to get one step closer to your goal. I truly believe it could be your biggest blessing in disguise. Imagine waking up 3 years from now, or even a year from, it could be that soon, looking back and realizing that the most important decision you ever made was that mistake, because it led you exactly where you wanted to go. It made you who you needed to become. It changed you in ways you couldn't have imagined. I think you'll find you might be more grateful for that moment than for all your successes combined. So, what really counts as a mistake in the end? And remember, not making a choice is also a choice. That's fine too. Stillness is often necessary, and if that's where you are, stay there as long as it feels right. But if you feel called to start walking and you just don't know the direction, sometimes any direction is good enough. Trust that life will course correct you if it needs to. You just need to be moving so that life can steer the wheel. It can't guide you if you're just standing still, staring at the clouds. Now, a very important note. I'm not saying you should accept every single offer that comes your way. Please always use your discernment and your intuition. Not every offer is a stepping stone. Sometimes an opportunity is just, a chance to practice your strength and determination and say no because you know something better is coming. How do you know the difference? That's a great question. Let's talk about that the next time we meet. Until then, I am so proud of you. I know you're trying your best. Give yourself some credit.